Excellent. So, hi guys. Hopefully you can now see the screen. So, as you know, my name is Suzii Fido. I'm co-founder of Marketing with Ethics. And today I am going to explain a little bit about Google Ads and whether it is right for your business. But first of all, got a couple of questions. How much time do you think the average person spends online every day? Would love to see in the chat what you think the answers are.
So we've got 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 to 12, 10 hours, 15 hours, and 3.5 hours.
The answer is actually 6 hours on average, which is 40% of your time that you spend awake if you have the average amount of 8 hours sleep. Next question, how much do you think is likely to be spent on search advertising in 2023?
Oh. 3 billion. We've got 26 billion, trillions.
It's actually estimated that by the end of 2023, there will be approximately $279 billion spent on search advertising. And this is continuing to grow year on year. And they're estimating that by 2027, it will be up to almost $390 billion. And finally, how many searches do you think there are on Google every day? Anyone having a guess?
We've got 500 million, a trillion, 106 billion, 200 million.
There is actually 8.5 billion searches, and this is just on Google. That is 99,000 every single second. So as you can see, Google is the place to be. So today I'm going to talk about Google Ads, as I said, but what is a Google Ad? Let's not presume that everybody knows what it is. It's also known as PPC or pay-per-click, and it is not, as some people think, the same as SEO or search engine optimization. Google Ads are the listings that appear at the top of the Google results above all the other organic content and have a small sponsored mark on the left, as you can see in the circles there. But why should a business use Google Ads? First of all, you can get on the front page immediately, as long as your campaign's been set up well. Your ad appears above the organic search results, making you front and center to your audience. You get the people's attention further down the buyer's journey. In other words, they're already looking for your product or service, and all you need to do is convince them that you are the right choice with a well-worded ad. And you pay for each click on your advert, not each time it's shown. Hence the phrase pay per click. So I get asked a lot of questions when it comes to Google Ads, and I thought what I would do is answer the most common ones that I get. First of all, how much does it cost? It's almost like saying how long's a piece of string. It very much depends on your industry and on your budget. Some industries only have an average cost of £2 a click, whereas my business would cost me £65 per click just to get them to the website. As an ethical business, though, we will not let our clients pay more in management fees to us than the click spend to Google. Therefore, if you wanted to work with me, you would need a minimum of £500 a month, as my lowest package is $247 a month for management. Next question is, how long do we need to run them for? Again, that depends on what you're looking to achieve. Although I would say Google Ads are not just for a short campaign. If you've got something coming up that you only want to advertise for a month, don't do Google Ads, because quite frankly, it takes that much more time to get set up. In the first 4 to 6 weeks, there's quite a bit of testing involved. So therefore, I personally recommend running them for a minimum of 3 months. Although I have got a customer that's been with me for over 7 years now. And I'm often asked as well, what's the difference between PPC and SEO? I'm sure all of you here know what it is, because obviously we've got Pete in the room as well as myself. But if you are unsure, the most simplistic way to describe the difference is that PPC or Google Ads is pay-per-click. So you can be on the top of the first page as soon as the campaign goes live, and you pay each time someone clicks on the ad. Whereas SEO is all about optimizing your website so it appears organically. This takes a lot longer to get up to the first page, but what it does mean is once you are and someone clicks on that organic result, it doesn't cost you anything. Finally, is it right for my business? Well, contrary to popular belief and what many Google Ads agencies will try and convince you, Google Ads is not always the best choice for every business. For example, if you've got a product or service that no one knows about, then they're not going to be searching for it. And therefore, you need to focus on brand awareness, which is better done on social media. Also, it may be that, like my business, it has a high click cost. And although you may eventually get a return on investment, you do need deep pockets to run the campaign in the first place. If you're not sure if it is right for your business, happy to have a virtual coffee and chat about it. But what is it that makes us different to other agencies? The first thing we do is find out more about you and your business and what you're wanting to achieve. We find out who it is that you're reaching out to. What are their pain points? How do you solve them? What the lifetime value is of your customer, and many other things to ensure that Google Ads is the right option for you. Sometimes it's not, and like I said earlier, we'll tell you if it isn't. Then we make sure that your website is as good as it can be. I had an inquiry recently that I could generate lots of clicks, but the website would never convert them as it was really poorly designed. So I gave advice on the improvements they needed to make to the website and said, happy to chat again after this. And this is where our lovely Reem comes in. I only succeed if the customer succeeds. So there's no point taking on the client I know I cannot get the results for until those other changes are made. Then we carry out extensive research on what your potential clients actually type in the Google search bar. And then we create hundreds of headlines using those exact words because that's the terminology that they use. And also, we actually actively manage the campaigns. We don't leave everything to be automated by Google. You could literally get Google to do almost everything on your campaign, even with new AI that's coming out, to even go onto your website and make up an ad and use the images in that for you, which sounds amazing. But again, if your website's not up to scratch, then it means that you could be actually advertising using awful wording that's not reaching out to your person at all. And it doesn't mean that you can get the results that you're looking for. I would never leave everything automated. It takes a lot more time, but at the end of the day, I'm paid to manage. So that's what I do. We also care about every one of our clients as well. So we only support clients who we believe in. And therefore, when we're working on their accounts, we treat it as though it's our own business. And we're passionate about helping ethical businesses and organizations. As you know, we want to help them to increase their brand awareness and their bottom line profits so they can carry out the amazing work that they do. And I would particularly love to chat to any business that are making a positive impact on the planet. But that brings me to what I am often asked. I mean, you hear me talk about ethical marketing, and, you know, marketing with ethics is called that on purpose, not as a gimmick. But what does ethical actually mean to me? To me, it's about treating people, animals, and the planet with respect. Doesn't mean that you've got to be a tree hugger to be a client, although it does help. It may be that you run a service-based business, and therefore it's about how you support your clients, how you support your staff, and that you are making responsible decisions on any purchases and anything that you actually do. It's also about being open and honest. If I make a mistake, I own it. If I think Google Ads is not right for them, I'll tell them. And I'll also make sure that my clients own the campaigns and have full access. I explain anything that they don't understand on the dashboard. And when a customer understands what it is that you're doing or what the statistics are showing them, they've got more respect for the work that you're doing. It's also important to me to ensure that anything we do has a positive impact for our clients. It's not just about making a profit. We want to go over and above expectations and ensure that they get the best customer experience possible. And last, but by no means least, every decision we make in our business is in line with our own personal values and the moral impact that it will have. So that's really about how we live both personally and in our business. Everything we do, every client we take on, we check in with our own values and say, does that sit with our values? That's how we know that every client that we take on is one that we deeply care about. We are passionate about helping to get the best possible results that we can. So that's it, folks. That's a little bit about us and about Google Ads. Thanks a lot for listening. And if you've got any questions, just ask.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Suzii. Great presentation. We are out of time for the 10 minutes, but we do have a little bit of extra time. If Josh has got a question, we've got time for one quick question. Let's go to Josh.
Hey, Suzii, that was a really, really good presentation. Really, really interesting. And I think we've all picked out something from there. What I wanted to just know is, obviously, if everyone's doing the pay-per-click, so they're all doing similar sort of campaigns for similar, how do you then get yourself higher up the rankings? Because surely is there not a critical mass where you can't get any higher? Does that make sense?
It's very it's very complex, and it is amazing that it happens in literally a split second. But there's an algorithm in the background, and there's something on your campaigns called a quality score. And this quality score is made up by what Google expects the user experience to be, how relevant your wording in your ad is to what the person's searching, where they're being sent to, whether that is relevant and has the relevant keywords. And there's so many things, and also down to your account history as well. You get a quality score, you're then saying how much you're willing to spend, and it does this calculation based on that and gives you an overall score. And it does that with everybody that could tie in with that location, that keyword, and basically whoever has the highest score is the one that comes out on top. So it's all about the quality of the ads that you're creating. And this is why it's important to me to also make sure the landing pages, you know, you're not just sending everyone to the home page, you're sending them to the relevant page. Because if someone has to click again, they're going to click away. So you want them to get to what they want on the first click. So it's the whole user experience. And this is where a lot of agencies don't take that into consideration.
Yeah, and that kind of highlights what you said. It's not just about the advert, it's about what runs underneath it as well. Thank you, Suzii.
Exactly.